Pompeii, Italian Pompeii, preserved ancient Roman city in Campania, Italy, 14 miles, 23 kilometers, southeast of Naples, near Mount Vesuvius's southeastern base. We are going to talk about the ancient city of Pompeii and its destruction in our today's video. Before starting this video, like it and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Let's begin. A massive explosion from Mount Vesuvius spewed volcanic debris over Pompeii about midday on August 24, 79 CE, followed the following day by clouds of blisteringly hot gases. Buildings were destroyed, individuals were crushed or asphyxiated, and the city was buried behind a layer of ash and pumice. Pompeii slept for millennia under its pall of ash, which marvelously preserved the ruins. When they were ultimately discovered in the 1700s, the world was astounded to see a sophisticated Greco-Roman metropolis preserved in time. Grand public structures featured a magnificent forum and an amphitheater, as well as sumptuous villas and other types of homes dating back to the 4th century BCE. Inside were some preserved corpses of those who had sought refuge from the eruption. Others had been buried as they fled. Bakeries were discovered with bread still baking. The structures and their contents depicted daily life in the ancient world, and piqued the attention of the 18th century in all things classical. Pompeii was constructed on an ancient lava flow spur north of the Sarnus, modern Sarno, river's mouth. Along with Pompeii, Herculaneum, Stabiae, Torre Annunziata, and other towns were devastated. In 1997, Pompeii, Herculaneum, and Torre Annunziata were declared as UNESCO World Heritage Sites. Pompeii had a population of 10,000 to 20,000 people at the time of its collapse. To the east is the contemporary town, commune, of Pompeii, which has the pilgrimage basilica of Santa Maria del Rosario. It seems that Pompeii, Herculaneum, and adjacent cities were initially occupied by Oscan-speaking ancestors of Campania's Neolithic population. Archaeological evidence suggests that the Oscan settlement of Pompeii, strategically placed near the mouth of the Sarnus River, was quickly influenced by the sophisticated Greeks who had moved across the bay in the 8th century BCE. However, Greek dominance was challenged when the Etruscans arrived in Campania in the 7th century. The Etruscans' influence remained strong until 474 BCE, when King Hieroni of Syracuse destroyed their maritime power in a naval battle off the coast of Cumae. Following there was a second phase of Greek control. The warlike Samnites, an Italic tribe, then invaded Campania near the end of the 5th century, and Pompeii, Herculaneum, and Stabiae became Samnite settlements. Pompeii was first referenced in history in 310 BCE, when a Roman fleet arrived at the Sarnus port of Pompeii and launched an unsuccessful assault on the neighboring city of Nuceria during the Second Samnite War. Campania became a part of the Roman coalition with the conclusion of the Samnite Wars, and the towns became allies of Rome. However, they were not totally conquered and Romanized until the Social War. In this conflict, Pompeii joined the Italian insurrection against Rome and was besieged by the Roman commander Lucius Cornelius Sulla in 89 BCE. Pompeii, like the rest of southern Italy, obtained Roman citizenship after the conflict. However, as a punishment for Pompeii's involvement in the battle, a colony of Roman soldiers was founded there under Publius Sulla, the general's nephew. Oscan was superseded as the official language by Latin, and the city quickly became Romanized in institutions, architecture, and culture. Tacitus, the Roman historian, reports a disturbance at Pompeii's amphitheater in 59 CE between the Pompeians and the Nucerians. Both Pompeii and Herculaneum were severely damaged by an earthquake in 62 CE. When the towns were finally destroyed 17 years later, they had not yet recovered from the disaster. On August 24, 79 CE, Mount Vesuvius exploded. 2 letters sent by Pliny the Younger to the historian Tacitus, who had inquired about the death of Pliny the Elder, commander of the Roman fleet at Misenum, include a vivid first-hand account. Pliny the Elder had gone from Misenum to assist the afflicted inhabitants and to see the volcanic activity up close, and he perished near Stabiae. Excavations and volcanological research, particularly in the late 20th century, have revealed new information. On August 24, just after lunchtime, ash, pumice, and other volcanic material started raining down on Pompeii, soon burying the city to a depth of more than 9 feet, 3 meters, and forcing the roofs of many buildings to collapse. On the morning of August 25, surges of pyroclastic material and hot gas, known as news ardents, approached the city walls and quickly asphyxiated any occupants who had not been killed by falling debris. Additional pyroclastic flows and ash showers followed, adding at least another 9 feet of debris and preserving the remains of the residents who died while seeking refuge in their homes or attempting to flee to the seaside or along the roads leading to Stabiae or Nuceria in a veil of ash. Pompeii was therefore buried behind a layer of pumice stones and ash 19 to 23 feet, 6 to 7 meters, thick. The city's abrupt burial helped to safeguard it from vandalism, theft, and the damaging impacts of climate and weather over the following 17 centuries. The architect Domenico Fontana found the Pompeii remains late in the 16th century. Herculaneum was found in 1709, and excavations started in 1738. Work on Pompeii did not commence until 1748, and an inscription, Re Publici Pompeiorum, was discovered in 1763, identifying the location as Pompeii. The work done in these cities in the mid-18th century marked the beginning of modern archaeology. From 1750 until 1764, the military engineer Carl Weber worked under the auspices of Don Carlos, King of Naples, but other early digging was sometimes unplanned and irresponsible, carried out by treasure hunters or other inexperienced employees. When the Italian archaeologist Giuseppe Fiorelli took over as head of the excavations in 1860, the haphazard digging came to an end. The areas between excavated sites were cleaned and meticulously recorded. Pompeii was split into 9 areas. The insulae, blocks, in each zone were numbered, and each door on the street was assigned a number, allowing each home to be easily identified by 3 numbers. Fiorelli also invented the method of casting corpses by pouring cement into the hollows produced in the volcanic ash where the bodies had decomposed. Following the halt caused by World War II, extensive excavation was restarted in 1951 under the direction of Amedeo Maiuri, who was in charge of the excavations from 1924 to 1961. Large portions to the south of the Via dell'Abbondanza, in regions 1 and 2, were exposed, and trash heaped beyond the city walls was cleaned away. The Porta, Gate, di Nocera and a spectacular length of cemetery bordering either side of the road running from the gate to Nuceria were discovered. Around 2/3 of the city had been excavated by the 1990s. Excavations undertaken by Don Carlos of Naples in the environs of Stabiae and Gragnano found 12 residences between 1749 and 1782. Work was continued in the 20th century. The finest preserved is the Villa of San Marco, with its 2 huge peristyle gardens and spa. Other villas have been discovered at the surrounding towns of Scafati, Damosella, and Torre Annunziata, as well as on the lower slopes of Vesuvius between Boscorial and Boscatrices. Many of these villas were reburied once they were discovered, but a few may still be seen, most notably the Villa of the Mysteries. Because Pompeii was constructed atop an ancient lava flow, its form was uneven. Excavations show that the southwestern half of town is the earliest, although academics disagree on the phases by which the walls were constructed or on who built them. The walls are 2 miles, 3 kilometers, in diameter and encompass an area of around 163 acres, 66 hectares. 7 city gates have been found. The Via Stabiana was the main thoroughfare flowing southeast, northwest, connecting the Port of Vesuvio, or Vesuvius Gate,